Welcome everybody to a new Fortnite creative tutorial video. With the addition of the new trigger system, we can create a ton of new systems and mechanics, and the first one that we'll put to the test today is an on-demand vehicle delivery system that will look something like this. Okay, so this is very easy to do. So I'm going to classify this actually as a basic tutorial. So let's get started. The first thing we'll need are ramps, and we'll make them go up too. On the top ramp, we'll place the vehicle we want to use, and on the bottom one, we'll place a bouncer pad so that it gets launched up and lands on the desired spot that we want, the delivery spot. To start off, I'll show how the mechanics work with a golf cart, but we can do this with any other vehicle. So let's grab one of these golf carts and place them on the top ramp. And then we'll add a bouncer just to place under it. Make sure the cart is facing down, and actually let's put a wall in front of the bouncer so that people can't see it and we can fence off the mechanics. And place a wall that is at least 2 up in front of that so that we can catch the vehicle. As you can see, as soon as something makes the vehicle move, it rolls down and gets launched up and dropped where we want it. Now, to automatically activate this vehicle, we will use a music sequencer. There are other automatic ways to start the system, like a spike trap or a bumper or anything else, but this is the only one that we can trigger on demand through the trigger system. So what we'll do is we'll add this music sequencer facing the same direction as your vehicle under the ramp of it. So we'll place a floor under it and go one behind the vehicle. Now there are 3 important options that we're going to have to change. The first one is change the length from 4 to 1. It's actually called normal. The next option we have to change is a damage option. So we'll change this from off to very low. This is what's going to make the vehicle move, as a damage tick makes it move just enough to start sliding off. The last option we need to change is the start sequence when receiving from option, and change that to any channel you're not using. So here I'll just put it to channel 1. If you try this while still in editing mode, you will see that it does nothing. And that's because the damage of the music sequencer is not actually applied in this mode. So if we start the game, then we can actually see that it works as intended. So let's see how that looks. Perfect. Okay, now all that is left to do is just add the trigger. Change the triggered by option to be off for players and on for damage. That way it will not be triggered on proximity, but will when we hit it or shoot it. But you can change this depending on the type and style of map you're making. Then scroll down and change the when triggered transmit on channel to the same as you set the music sequencer. So if you put the music sequencer on channel 1, place this on channel 1 as well. And that's pretty much it. So let's see how this looks already. As you can see, whenever we hit the trigger, it's going to deliver a vehicle. Now we can still clean this up a little bit and add some more options, change the vehicles, anything we want. So let's dive a little bit deeper into this. So first thing we can do to clean up is place the trigger vertically and place it against the wall. Next thing we'll do is we'll add more vehicles on different channels or on the same channel, depending on the type of map you're making. There are 2 exceptions to the simple mechanic. The first one is a quad launcher. So this one will not get automatically started with the music sequencer. Actually, it does make it start, but it doesn't make it move enough to hit the bounce pad. So to automate the quad, all we have to do is take an ice trap and make it slide down enough to hit the bouncer. The other exception is the hoverboard. And for this we'll need a slightly different mechanic, as this will not move with the damage stick. So all we'll have to do is grab a pinball bouncer and we'll place it behind the hoverboard. So turn it around and make sure it is halfway sticking out through the ramp. Change the enabled on game start option to disabled and the enabled when receiving from to the channel you want. Lastly, depending on the style of your map, you can also make it into an unlock system, meaning that once you activate it, if the vehicle gets destroyed, a new one will automatically drop down. The only thing you have to change for this is the option looping on your music sequencer. And all you have to do is set this to infinite, meaning as soon as you activate your trigger, the music sequencer will just loop infinitely. If the vehicle gets destroyed, it will respawn up here and automatically get started again. I would recommend, but again it depends on the type of map you're making, if you have a free channel, to also add a stop sequence when receiving from to a different channel. Then just add a second trigger that transmits on that channel and you can make an on and off switch, meaning you hit the on switch and it will automatically respawn, you hit the off switch and it will stop respawning. Now repeat this process for any other vehicle next to it or wherever you want. Add the triggers and you're all done. If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe and leave any requests or comments you have below. I really appreciate it. Stay tuned for more content, more tutorials, basic and advanced, and some really cool map trailers coming soon, including one of a hide-and-seek map, including Godzilla vs. King Ghidorah on the background that I helped create. See you soon.